Club Random is brought to you by Radioactive Media, number 20 on Inc. magazine's fastest growing private companies in the Pacific region. Radioactive knows how to launch, optimize, and scale campaigns that actually work. They even believe in audio so much they use it themselves, like right here, right now. So if you want your business to rise above the noise, text RANDOM to 511-511 or go to radioactivemedia.com because your marketing should sound better, literally. You know, fall always feels like a reset, right? New routines, shorter days, busier schedules. Except most of us don't reset, we unravel. So if you want good meals that are quick and easy, then I recommend checking out Factor. We've all got enough problems, and don't let cooking be one of them. Eat smart at factormeals.com/random50off and use code random50off to get 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year.
But that's a fair point. Yeah.
Thank you, darling. Our anniversary is going to be so much fun.
Do you like cake? There are options. Which
I
thought
said that. I was the first one to say that. That was my joke.
I'm not here to debate that, but he.
You got Seth Green?
I'm over
Let's
here.
do a fucking show.
What's up,
How
buddy?
are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Look at you. You look the same as ever.
So do you.
Really, you do. You have the same exact look.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen you in person in forever.
It's been a minute. I feel like the last time I saw you was like, if it wasn't McFarlane's birthday party.
Probably.
Maybe at like. Do you remember that? Maybe the Chateau? It feels like the last time I really saw you in person. Maybe after that at the Emmys, something Emmys.
I mean, Seth and I, who I adore so much, and some of his paraphernalia is around here somewhere.
Yeah.
But one birthday party, we did have a big fight about it because it was COVID, you know, and he was like, he was a COVID paranoid. I'm sorry, I love him, but I think that's my view. He would say, I'm whatever, I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. But, you know, we've had that. We once had a screaming match in the middle of the Tower Bar over dinner about this. But that's what friends do.
I think
Real friends talk. And sometimes yell, and then you come back to loving.
Yeah, I've always valued civil discourse. I brought some weed. I know you like weed. Do you have your own weed?
I grow it here.
You do?
Yeah, right. I mean, probably 10 feet away, there's a pot plant growing.
You're kidding? What kind of, is it like, what do you have, indicas? What do you like?
Well, you know, I have an old friend who went to prison for pot, Todd McCormick. He's a kind of famous pot revolutionary.
Yeah.
Done a lot, as much as anyone for the cause. He, now he's into seeds, you know, he's got a huge seed business. No, I brought my own. I don't trust you.
You don't trust me?
I love you, but I don't trust you because I only want to grow the stuff that I know is super clean, grown here.
Sure.
And his thing is seeds now. It's
I'm happy to try yours if you're sure.
Please do,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's $10.
Okay, I got, do you take crypto?
Here, we don't have to share like it's the 60s. We could just do too far away.
Isn't that the best part? Like, I remember super illegal weed, and I remember, like, don't you remember when, like, I feel like it was the early 90s, Woody Harrelson got arrested for, like, planting
hemp.
weed. Don't you remember this?
Not weed, hemp.
Yeah, just hemp. Don't you remember?
But I mean, the reason why that's a whole different kettle of fish is that he was making the point that hemp, which is also illegal, not weed. And if you don't believe me, try to get high on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a cousin of weed, but, you know, it was used to, the parchment at the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution or some old document is signed on it.
Yeah.
And you can use it to make a sailboat, you can use it to make a parachute, you know.
Right. You can't use it to get high without a lot of chemical processing.
Yeah, it has to be mixed with the THC variety. I mean, that's what a lot of CBD oils and stuff. Do you use that stuff? Do you rub that on your dick?
Yeah. Oh, as hard and as vigorously as possible.
I don't think it's the CBD. Me too. I don't know if it's the CBD that's making me feel good when I do that.
Might just be the friction.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know.
But I don't know.
What kind of friction you into?
not the kind with the Hollywood community, but there's certainly
Boy, I'll
plenty.
tell you what, Bill. Like, that's why I don't go to anybody's house. I stay
Really?
home. I don't talk
that
on the
right?
press line. I mean, not like that, but I kind of just never, really early on, I just recognized before everybody was sort of toxified by social media in general or empowered to speak their most immediate reaction without any
Speak
kind
their
of
truth.
but even more than just like react. Like I knew you just don't fuck with faith, right? Like you don't get at somebody about their theological core stuff, the stuff that they share with only themselves, truly. Like there's really no fucking with that. If somebody believes something, like that's
Yeah.
theirs to believe. But I also believe in differences of opinion. I also believe in people being able to have a conversation and marvel at each other's
Not everyone
differences.
does.
And of course not. It's gotten so much worse and so much shittier, and I really struggle with that. I think the most I struggle with that, like having to adjust my worldview to see this volume of active division and hate mongering.
But of course, the difference with us is that I have to. This is what I do for a living: is talk about issues.
I know you got to get into it.
And you, smart, shouldn't, and don't.
Yeah, but here I am on your show. This is funny. I realize this is going to be the longest conversation we ever have.
Specifically for not necessarily doing that.
Oh, good. But you and I have known each other long enough, and we're both come from comedy enough to talk about that. Like, I love stand-up. I love comedy. It's probably one of my favorite.
I mean, obviously, we didn't do a very good job of communication because the number one thing we've tried to communicate, obviously failingly, is that I started this because I have a show about politics.
Right.
And there's a million other things to talk about. Now, this show
You're
has...
saying I didn't do enough homework,
which
is
is not you.
They probably sent me a lot of emails and texts, and I have a really bad time reading any of that. I get a lot of emails every day.
Okay, all right, we'll blame it on that. But whatever it is, now sometimes it veers into that depending on the guests. Sure, because I have no agenda. I have pot and liquor, and that's it. And I all my life wanted to do a show.
Who rolls these in tobacco leaves for you? Because that's a move.
No, this is not tobacco, I promise. There's no tobacco.
What is it? What's this brown wrap?
You know, it's just it's the healthy kind.
Yeah, you got filters and everything. This is smooth.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm 70. I'm trying to like live.
You're 70?
Yeah, what are you?
I'm 51. I would have put you at maybe 64, maybe 65.
Okay, well, I shaved off 5 years. What a thrill.
Don't you feel like it's so different now? Like I even look at pictures of Ted Knight.
Ted Knight?
Yeah, Ted Knight. And he was like 41. And he looked like he was 80. Conrad Bain was like, I don't even think he was 40 when he was making different strokes. Like he was playing the young rich guy on that show.
Why do young girls now want to like do shit that makes them look older?
What do you mean?
I mean, like a lot of times they're like, well, for example, beauty, Miss Universe types, beauty contestants. They're 19 and they look 40. Like, how do you?
Just because they've done like surgery and makeup and.
I'm asking. I mean, yes, and then you don't have to be a beauty contestant. They do things to themselves, I think, that make them look older.
Yeah. As a kid performer, I can tell you that's always been the push, is to make anything younger look older. I don't know why. I don't know what sense that makes.
I'm talking about a normal 19-year-old girl. Why is she, doing plastic surgery at the very age when you don't need it? Nature is
social. I think that's the social media.
Of course.
I think the social media is
absolutely.
There was I have to scientifically recognize that we're still in the early beta of any of these social constructs. Like even the idea, we're just entering into generations that are born without it ever having not been there. Like it's always been this way. But I think there should be. I see all these legal gatekeeps across internet porn. I think the social should have the same kind of checks, right? They're trying to dox people over internet porn. You know what I'm saying?
What gatekeeps are on porn?
A lot of these states and countries have passed laws that you can't watch anything. Like you can't.
Seems like there's everything on there.
Right. But a lot of these sites, like your major traffic, it's now requiring you some kind of like personal doxing. Like, this is who I am as a human. This is my age and my driver's license. And I just think that that's not cool at all. Like asking people to sign up.
But isn't that just to make sure they're not underage?
It is, but also now you've got a database of that. You know what I mean? Now you got a database of people that are watching porn.
Also, I think it's a fool's errand to think that you can outsmart a 13-year-old.
I know you're talking to the original Napster.
Right. Yeah. No, right. But aren't I right about that?
Yeah, of course. Like, the people will always figure out how to get it for free. I don't think that's it. It's more like the idea of the law coming into place where someone can get arrested for getting porn illegally or porn before they're willing to give up their civil liberty of their name and their driver's license number.
It is amazing that at 51, you still kind of have retained your cred as, a tribune of the youth.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
That's who you are. You kind of, again, you don't look your age. It's like, part of it is because you're short.
I think so too, right? Nobody's like, they're like this kid.
Well, it's like you look like I'm watching Wednesday, which is such a fun show. And it helps that she's short.
So little, yeah.
Because she obviously is not a kid, but she, that size, she, against all the adults in the cast.
Yeah. And they cast like big people too.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. But, you just have a youthful way and, I don't know.
Thanks.
It's very hard to do, to start as a child. I mean, you started as a child.
I didn't get famous when I was a kid, and I think that's really
But
the
you were
key.
in it.
I was in it, but
Right.
I was in it as sort of like a character actor in the weirdest way. And since I was just sort of on the edges of all this shit, I worked all the time, but I never got any of these big showy roles. I was just sort of the other guy in the movie. And that, I think, helped give me some credibility, helped me build my own skill set, helped me really build up discipline, and also humility. And then I got to watch person after person after person fuck it up again and again and again.
Right.
Through all the different means, to the point where I was like, wow, I'm never gonna do that.
Maybe if you had become famous at that age, right now you'd be humping parked cars like some of these fucking.
Right? Hey, look, don't kink shame, Bill. I mean, you of all people.
No, but I'm just saying. What do you mean of all people? Like,
Come on, man. You try to keep everybody out your bedroom, same as any American person. Like, stay the fuck out my bedroom. We'll do whatever I want.
Yeah, but I don't. But you don't know.
If you want to hump parked cars, Bill, like, I'm not trying to tell you that's not okay. Just make sure it's your car and that the car is consensual.
I'm just saying there's a lot of nutty things that have happened with child actors. I mean, the percentage, it seems, I don't know, I don't know people of other pursuits in life as much as I know, and we read about, of course, people in show business, but it seems like a greater percentage of them do crack up and become, kooky, like homeless, crazy kind of kooky.
It's very hard. And there's a thing that a lot of people don't understand is that even if you stay famous, even if you don't have any money. And that's what happened to Gary Coleman, was like Gary couldn't get work. And he just couldn't get work. So there's no way for Gary to make money. There weren't the same kind of mechanisms in place now for people to do trade shows or fan expos to like make money being Gary Coleman. And so he had to suffer indignity after indignity. He lost all his money in one way or another. His parents totally fucked him over, so much so that there were like laws written on his behalf. And it sucks that that kid had to go through all that just to show these other kids how to not do it. But there's no safety net for kid actors. You know what I mean? You're really on your own.
You make such a great point there that people don't think about. Wealth is associated with fame.
Yeah, right?
So if you are, as you say, famous, but don't have any money, then you have this double humiliation of, what are you doing on the subway? Yeah. I know why I'm on the subway. There's no shame in me being on the subway.
Why you working the security guard gig?
Right.
Yeah, poor fucking Gary.
I remember Armie Hammer was selling real estate in the Bahamas for a minute.
I'd buy a house from that guy.
The kitchen was a little different.
It's got really big ovens.
He sat here. I was happy to do my part in
Armie did. Is that here?
Yeah.
I loved him in, there was a movie
he's
they
not a
did,
cannibal.
he and Henry Cavill did The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and it was so fucking great.
I love The Man from U.N.C.L.E. with
I did
Alicia
too.
Vikander was also in that.
Isn't she the best, man?
She's very attractive young lady, yes.
Well, yeah, that too.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Oh, that I was saying? Nah, she's amazing. I've seen her play a bunch of different roles. She's super convincing.
Say. And
yeah, she looks the part though, but most people.
And she, could have been Wednesday, is what I.
You're not wrong.
No, that girl's Jenna Ortega. She's perfect for that part. She
Have you met her?
Kills it. No,
Me neither.
I don't go out to a lot of. I go out more than you. Apparently, you seem to be saying that you're just a complete stay-at-home.
I'm not.
But you're married, right?
I am married. Yeah, we have a almost 3-year-old that keeps me home a lot.
There you go. You've got the.
But I go out. I do the stuff that feels like the prom stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I went to that.
Not really, but I kind of do. What, like award shows?
Well, yeah. You go to the stuff that is like your peers at this moment in the year.
I love the Vanity Fair Oscar party.
Right on. So there's like a particular party you go to where it's like, I know everybody here. This is great.
I don't know everybody there, but I know who everybody is there, and it's fun. Like a petting zoo is fun to stand in the middle of a room and see nothing but stars.
And everybody knows you. Everybody knows you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say everybody because there are certain demographics that are elusive. Let's glide over that. But anyone who knows, what the war in Ukraine is, probably knows who I am. But yes, there are, look, this is Hollywood. Never underestimate what people don't know in this town. This is not a town.
You're not wrong.
This is not a town.
People's blind spots.
It is not built on knowledge. It is built on talent. They are, Sally Field once said it. She said, this town is full of shit, but they adore talent. And it is true. And they're very good at finding it. I always think for the people who are like, well, I never got my break. Well, it's possible you could have just gotten bad breaks. That's true. But generally, the cream rises to the top. Club Random is brought to you by Radioactive Media, number 20 on Inc. magazine's fastest growing private companies in the Pacific region. Number 20, which is perfect because that's about where humanity is ranked on species most likely to survive the century. Now, look, earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, they happen every year, but nothing prepares you for economic uncertainty, unless, of course, you have a plan. And no, tweeting doesn't count as a marketing strategy. But if you're a business owner, don't panic. Get Radioactive Media. Podcasting is the hottest medium right now, with audio reaching more people than social media and digital combined. Radioactive knows how to launch, optimize, and scale campaigns that actually work. They even believe in audio so much they use it themselves, like right here, right now. So if you want your business to rise above the noise, text RANDOM to 511-511 or go to radioactivemedia.com because your marketing should sound better, literally. Fall always feels like a reset, right? New routines, shorter days, busier schedules. Except most of us don't reset, we unravel. Suddenly dinner is a granola bar and a half a bottle of Merlot. That's where Factor comes in. These are chef-prepared, dietitian-approved meals. Translation, food made by actual professionals, not you. Googling, how long does it take to cook chicken so it's safe to eat? No. Factor's got everything. Salmon, shrimp, even GLP-1 friendly meals, and Mediterranean options packed with protein and good fats. Because apparently surviving winter requires more than leftover Halloween candy. They've even added global flavors, Asian-inspired dishes with bold flavors. So yeah, you can taste Thailand without catching a layover in Dallas. So if you want good meals that are quick and easy, then I recommend checking out Factor. We've all got enough problems, and don't let cooking be one of them. Eat smart at factormeals.com/random50off and use code random50off to get 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code random50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
It is tough. I did notice it because I've had different moments. I've gotten to work on all kinds of sets, like first-time director indies and like massive studio projects that have the full weight of multiple companies behind them. And it,
I mean, like Austin Powers?
yeah, like Austin Powers' Italian Job.
Yeah.
What was that? When we made Without a Paddle, Paramount.
Yeah, big
put money into
A-list,
that. Yeah,
big budget,
yeah, I got to do that movie.
big box
with,
office movies.
Yeah, exactly. The thing I got to do with Travolta and Robin Williams, they had a ton of money behind that.
What was that?
It's called Old Dogs for
Oh, yeah,
Disney.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Dog.
I know, right? It's got me with a costumed man
There's
in a gorilla.
there's a
like
whole-
a gorilla costume.
There's a whole genre now, I call them geezer movies, where, you know, these are movies where actors who were huge stars, you have to be a huge star to begin with, for decades, now are 80. And there obviously is an appetite from the public, a certain percentage, to still see Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Morgan Freeman. So, I mean, what kind of script can you have for an 80? They have to be geezer movies. They have
but there's the
Bad
same
Grandpa, you know.
Or like that heist movie that Zach Braff directed that had like Morgan in it, Michael Caine in it. The heist movie.
This, I'm telling you, it's
But
a
don't
whole...
you remember like Grumpy Old Men? Don't you remember like Short Circuit? Not Short Circuit. Batteries Not Included or Cocoon even.
Yeah.
Like this has always been a thing. Like we always watch.
I think it's more now. Yes, they always did that, but I feel like in the old days, no, they put you out to pasture, and the actors had more dignity. You know, they were Cary Grant-ish, Greta Garbo-ish. Like I've had my moment.
It moved in the '80s. You got your Hume Cronins, your Jessica Tandy's.
Yeah, that was one movie. I feel like now what they do is they seg into. They were known as great, you know, dramatic actors, but they seg into the comedy world.
You're talking specifically about Helen Mirren and stuff like Red.
Helen Mirren. I'm telling you, De Niro, Morgan Freeman, Al Pacino.
De Niro's got a lot
Kevin
of childcare to pay. You know, he's doing those movies.
I'm not knocking it.
Oh.
I'm just saying it's a phenomenon that we did not used to have to this level.
I don't know. We could compare release things, but I do take your point.
I'm arguing harder than this than I do about tariffs.
No, this is really fun.
Okay.
Hey, here's to that. Here's to toasting about nothing that matters.
So, so tell me about your life. Like, so you're married. You got married, like what most people would say, late in life, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I was in my later 30s, but I went.
Oh, later 30s.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
We've been married 15 years.
Wow.
I know. It's crazy, right? That's crazy to think about. Neither one of us thought that was going to happen to us.
Neither you or your wife, or me or you?
No, neither me or my wife. We both just had been through a lot of life. We both had had a lot of experience and sort of learned a lot about ourselves and about what we wanted, what we didn't want. You know, I learned a lot of...
That's smart. No one's ready to get married before. That's a perfect time to get married if you're going to do it.
It worked for me. It worked for me. I really can't like prescribe anybody anything, but I felt like we lucked out in a lot of ways. And I learned a lot of shit on other girls' time. You know, there's really nothing you can do about it.
We all do.
Do it.
And we all, well, I'm not going to speak for everybody. I have some guilt about that.
Of course.
Not that I really should have guilt, because how could you help it? You're young and you're dumb and you got to learn. And if you're learning, you know, comedy, you do it in front of an audience and you bomb and it's painful and it's got to, you inflicted that pain on that audience who had to sit through your shitty
I like this metaphor. Yeah.
learning phase. And it's the same thing with relationships.
Yeah.
You know, there are things that I did, I go, oh my God, I can't believe I was that stupid. Nothing horrific, just like dumbass shit that you just would never do now.
Yeah.
You know, yes, but I all I can assume is that the girl was to a degree doing that on guys too. Now, of course, girls mature much faster. So I think their phase of being dumb ends a lot quicker than ours.
I don't know. It just depends on, I think I discovered, at least for myself, that each of the longer term relationships I was in, there was a bit of me trying on some other persona for size, right? Where this was a girl who had this way and she came from this and seemed like that and liked these things and we had this in common and let's see how this goes. You know what I mean? It was not, I look at other people and I see, oh, you dated all these girls with dark hair with bangs. It's like a very specific, oh, never a girl without tattoos or only a girl from this city or, you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, of course. Don't you know people with
a
type? Yeah, a type. I don't feel like I had a type. I just sort of tried a lot of things on for size.
Yeah, I would say I'm the same way. I mean, my type was hot because I was just young and horny.
What kind of things drive you? What do you think? What do you consider hot? Like, can a girl be hot if she's not physically attractive?
No. What I mean, that's not even 101.
Well, here's the thing I can give you.
I'm sorry, but that's just the truth.
No, I understand.
Hot to you. No, that's different. What's different? Hot to you may not be hot to me.
That's totally fair.
But, you know, it's totally fair. And by the way, it's something everybody would agree on.
Wouldn't it be funny if I was like, that's not fair, we're going to fight about this?
You seem to want to fight about everything, which is fine. I'm more than happy to fight.
Do I seem like I want to fight?
I feel like you're like, I say X, you say Y kind of person.
I don't mean to be like that.
You can be. It doesn't bother me. It's kind of fun.
Okay.
For a half hour.
What the fuck are you talking about, Bill? We're not going to do this.
Yeah. But I had a girlfriend once who was just like that. Like, why I was in this relationship, I don't know. It was dumb. But I'd say X, she'd say Y. I mean, it's just tedious.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, look, people just don't agree on everything, and that's fine. What were we talking about?
We were talking about pulling hot girls once you got famous.
No, we weren't.
What?
We weren't actually talking about that. We were
That's
talking.
Sort of what it
we were talking
sounded
about.
like.
No, we were
That's
talking
what
about.
It was circling around.
You just wanted to get to that. We were talking about what constitutes attraction, and if hotness was a part of it. And like I said, of course it is, but it depends on what you think is hot. You know, Billy Corgan was here.
Oh. That's so cool.
Yeah, he's very cool.
I really like him. I just got to meet him for the first time. I was at there was a big music festival and Green Day played. I don't know if you know this, but they're touring like the anniversaries of both.
Green Day.
Me too.
They do the theme to my show. You know,
You're kidding?
No, they perform the theme to
Oh,
Real
that's
Time.
amazing. Have you had anybody on here? Like Mike would come on here in a second, I'm sure. Billy.
I want them all.
Yeah?
I've had Billy Joe on the show on Real Time years ago. But
this kind of long form though, fuck, you'd never.
Oh, I'd love to. I mean,
It's just Tangent City though.
I'm
like
such a
try and
fan
get appointed.
of their music.
Yeah, they're the fucking best. They put on a show, but I got to see Pumpkins play beforehand. They put on a great show at this festival, and then Green Day played the anniversary. It's like the 20th anniversary of American Idiot and the 30th anniversary of Dookie, and they just put up a big balloon and play the whole fucking record. It's so cool, man. They sound unbelievable. They look insane. I can't believe it. And they're all like really adults. I've been seeing these guys play music over 20 years. Like I saw them the first time, had to be like 94, 95.
Yeah, sure.
The first time I saw them. It's amazing to see them now. They're just unbelievable.
It's amazing. I mean, they're a great band, and it's amazing how many great bands, and really, why shouldn't they, but continue on. I mean, the Rolling Stones are on tour this year. They're post-80.
Have you gotten to see them?
Yeah.
I've only gotten to see them one time, and they were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, really awesome.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. It is cool they're still doing it. Oh my God, did you see the Spinal Tap movie?
Not yet, but Rob was here a couple weeks ago.
I love him so much. I think I froze up. Like, looking back, I went to the premiere. I saw everybody. I've known Michael McKean for a long time because I made a movie with his wife when I was a child, which is hilarious. So when we see each other at all the shit, it's like, oh, hey, remember me when I was a kid? Anyway, I tried really hard to find it in to talk to Christopher Guest, and you know how it is, man. You have one of these things, and you're like very far away from a person, and you sort of catch each other's eye.
Right.
And you like try to muster up the courage to give like a head nod or something, and before you know it, the other person's like, that's kind of Chris Guest in a nutshell. Like, that's every experience I've ever had.
I mean, I don't know him, but I met him once, and I did have the same experience.
Yeah.
And that might just be because he's shy.
I mean,
some people are just
absolutely.
legitimately shy.
Yeah, and that's why I don't take it personally. I just always wish I could
and let's not be
cooler.
Let's not be hypocrites. I'm sure there are people who you've done the head turn to because you didn't want to talk to them.
Yeah, it's never like, oh, I don't want to talk to that person. It's always like, oh shit, I'm personally, I don't know. It's always like I'm embarrassed of something and don't feel comfortable talking to the person. You know what I mean? Some kind of like insecurity.
Okay, 2 words.
What?
Andy Dick. No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying.
Buddy, I was there
could
the
possibly-
night that Marilyn Manson punched Andy Dick in the throat.
Oh, I don't know about this. When and what was
I mean,
it?
this could be anytime, anywhere. That's the worst part
But when
about
was
Andy.
it and why?
It's about 2003. It was, God, where were we? We're at some, is that right? It's 2003?
2003. I could see it now. Ja Rule is on the charts.
Sounds about right. Yeah, so Mac and I were making
Yes.
that movie Party Monster. We were in New York going out quite a bit. And Manson was in the movie too, so we all traded numbers and then eventually all went out one night. And you know Andy, we're like walking down the street to go into this club and Andy is like putting on a show. And he just screams the second he sees me, Seth, Rick James is dead. And I go, oh, fuck, I didn't know him, Andy. Did you know him? And he's like, kinda. And I was like, hey, man, we're gonna go in the club. And he was like, me too. And I was like, fuck, we gotta get inside. And then we get inside and we're like seated and Mac is there and Manson is next to him and Andy gets in there and it's just that Andy comes and sits down and Manson just makes meaningful eye contact with me. And I just pull my hat down. I was drinking tequila at that time. I just drank this tequila. I was like, this is a great beat. I'm just gonna listen to this. I'm just gonna dance in this vibe. And then I see it's this, and I saw it so clearly. Okay, it's Andy tries to talk to Mac and then tries to talk to Manson.
I talk to who?
He's Mac, Macaulay Culkin. He tries to talk to Mac. He like turns to Mac and he goes,
Macaulay Culkin was there.
yeah, we just made this movie together, so we're spending a ton of time together. Yeah, he's an adult, 2 kids.
I know.
You know.
I just do that when the poor guy. How many years does it have to be before people stop doing it's like the thing from Scream.
I know, but two things. He's not poor, so you don't have to worry about it. And B, every 3rd quarter, he cleans up, so you don't have to worry. Like, you might as well call him Santa. Yeah, it's Christmas.
Oh, right.
Christmas. That's his month. So here's the point. Andy leans over to Mac, and he goes like this. And Mac just goes like this. Just literally like that. He's saying talking to somebody else.
What was he saying?
Who the fuck knows, man? I was dancing. I couldn't hear anything. And then he goes like this. And he turns to Manson, and he goes... And I swear to you, Manson goes like this. Just hits him right in the fucking throat. And Andy just like sort of takes that hit and just like has a funny...
Do we imagine... Well, Andy was, I think, there's that old thing, gay when drunk, or in Andy's case, gay when on crack. Or maybe, I don't know. But... what could Andy have said?
I don't know. He said all kinds of inflammatory shit.
I know, but
like
to
he was
make
one of the
someone
most provocative
feel
people I ever met.
But so personally offended that they hauled off and clocked you in the face.
Yeah, I'd love to say that Manson wasn't quick to punch people.
He was?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't know.
Oh, well, if you're like too close to him, he's definitely gonna push you.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not close to him. I mean, I used to see him. He did Politically Incorrect once, and I got amazing press because he was like the biggest star
Very
at the
smart,
time,
yeah.
and very controversial.
Incredibly eloquent.
So whenever I used to see him, I mean, first of all, I used to always just say, hi, Brian, because he's just a guy with a good Halloween costume. And like, I was always wanted to let him know, I'm not falling for the, you've got a great act, it's great, and even enjoyed a lot of the music. I mean, the Dope Show, and, there's some great songs there. But, it was just, again, a Halloween costume. I get it. You got a shtick. But hi, Brian.
Yeah.
And
how did he take that?
Loved it.
Right.
It was a twinkle in his eye and mine.
I think it felt better.
I get it, and I'm not offended.
Right.
And
coming from you, I think it felt better than when it came from, like, Courtney Love. Like, Courtney Love would hit him with...
did that?
Yeah, Courtney would hit him with that hi, Brian shit, and I don't think he liked it.
I didn't know I was on the same beat as Courtney Love.
I don't think y'all are on the same beat. Have you had her on this show?
No, but I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to Courtney
There's
Love.
a part of me that will always love her. Always love her.
Hole has some good music.
Yeah, they put on...
and very commercial. I mean, her image is, really out there. Her records are not the ones I have anyway.
Yeah. I love the Live Through This and what's it called?
Hollywood. But Yeah, she's got some good records. I mean, like,
Yeah.
well-produced, just my kind of music. But
She put on the show, too. I saw her tour live through this, and it was fucking incredible.
so funny, the 90s.
Yeah, right?
Which, you know...
What a time. Can you even believe we got to do that? That's so insane.
I mean, you were really young.
Yeah, but I was right in my 20s and in an age, like, I had already made enough money that I could just, like, make some decisions. And
no, it was
so hard hustling.
It was idyllic in the sense that it was post-AIDS, not that AIDS went away, but AIDS in the 80s, for the kids who don't know, this is all history to you, people were freaked out.
Well, because you could die from sex in a way that never seemed possible.
I mean, we don't have to get into the politics of how much was, as they would love to use the word these days, misinformation. But yes, there was absolutely reason to be scared.
Yeah.
But, you know, people were not having sex or wearing 3 condoms or I don't know what they were doing.
You know, at least 2 condoms is not a bad idea.
No, it's good to have safe sex. Was also a lot of stuff that was misleading. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Point is that, like, in the 90s, we kind of got over that. Like, it kind of reminded me of when we got over the pandemic. It was like, and then, well, no, let's just go back to, let's just go back to, let's just move on.
I think we love panicking,
We
don't
love
you?
panicking, and then we get enough of it, and we pretend it never happened, like it was just a dream, like it was the shower sequence in Dallas. It's just bullshit. Okay, so we were over AIDS, and terrorism hadn't happened yet here in America.
Not to that extent. I mean,
So
we had like hijackings and things like that,
but it wasn't 9/11.
There was no mass shootings. It was Columbine.
Not 9/11.
Right, 9/11.
And it wasn't.
Well, Columbine came
was
before
99.
9/11. Yeah.
So it was between. Just go with this one.
You gotta give it to me.
don't say X.
Yeah, fuck it. But there's no timeline. Time's a circle.
Just go with this one, darling.
I'm with you, babe.
I'm telling you, the 90s was post-AIDS and pre-terrorism paranoia. So it was like and the issues were like not much. I mean, Clinton, who was a centrist, was president, and the big issue was he got blown.
I know.
Can you believe the way we lost our shit?
If you're a smoker or vapor ready to make a change, you really only need one good reason. But with ZYN nicotine pouches, you'll discover many good reasons. ZYN is America's #1 nicotine pouch brand. Plus, ZYN offers a robust rewards program. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction, but there's only one ZYN. Check out zyn.com/find to find ZYN at a store near you. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
No, I've been to Versailles and they showed me the separate house for the fliplettes, you know, so you're like the favorite,
mistresses?
The other girl. They're like, hey, listen, this king, he probably had like 5, 6 women. 2 of them had houses. 1 of them had a house right next to their house.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody gives a shit. They're just like, you guys are, it's so puritanical, it's shocking, right? Like, what is the beef with that?
No, that's true, but also, I mean, what I was getting at was that we were so innocent in a way of the kind of existential issues that we have now that we were disposed to obsess about this guy getting blown for 2 years. That this was...
We were. I wasn't. I didn't. But it became the...
Please, it was a national obsession.
Yeah, I remember. And it wholly influenced culture in ways we couldn't even imagine. Like, all of a sudden, everybody's like, I could wear a thong. I could wear a thong. We'll write a whole song about it.
Why? Because she wore a thong.
She wore the thong. And because...
Was that new?
Brand new.
Really?
Only dancers and prostitutes wore thongs pre-Monica Lewinsky, saying that what got the president to whip his dick out was her having the thong peek out over the skirt. And immediately it flipped culture. Everybody's like, no shit.
You're right. That was a big thing, that she kind of baited him with the thong.
Baited him. My favorite thing is pop culture. Like, I love the way that this shit just ripples through full culture and there's no avoiding it. Like, you think that history is the most critical influence, but history is defined by pop, like the stuff that we really remember, the stuff that really collects an audience. It is as powerful as any theology.
History is really decided by technology. The new technology comes along and we are just always slaves to it.
Are you into that? Do you keep up on...
It's just the truth. I mean, I am not good at technology.
No, I mean, but do you like it? Like, I'm super curious about tech, so I'm always paying attention to stuff.
Super curious about what?
Technology. So I'm
curious about it, but I'm not native to it. and so I'm poor at it. I keep up enough to not be completely out of it. But you know, the way a 13-year-old is today, how they grow up, this new generation, I mean, or even Gen Z, even millennials, you know, people who grew up with computers. I did not.
Me too, man. We're that generation, and so I guess I'm just a little behind you, but
You're Gen X,
still,
I'm Boomer.
It's funny.
But your generation is the last sane generation. Then it went right off the end of the cliff.
Well, we were the legit, like, good luck.
Right, you were the last generation that the parents allowed to have a free-range childhood.
Yes.
Did you have a free-range childhood?
So much, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. My parents, I mean, I grew up in Philadelphia and New York. I lived in New York anytime I was working, which was, you know, from the time I was 7 to the time I was 16 and moved to Los Angeles, which was 91. But in that time, growing up in Philadelphia and all around New York, it was like, good luck. Here's your key. Don't forget your phone number.
When you talk, so I'm wondering if you like grew up around.
I think that over time I've gotten very lazy about policing what could be somewhere between a Delaware and a New York accent.
Delaware?
Yeah.
How did that get in the picture?
Because it's the Philadelphia accent, what is like South and West and North and East Philly. It sounds like the most guttural,
But did you grow up
disgusting.
right in the city?
I grew up in West Philly.
Where's that?
It's the same place that Will Smith was born and raised.
Is it nice? Is it looks like a suburb? Is
It's
it
like lower middle class.
lower middle class?
Yeah.
So like,
My neighborhoods were all black and Italian. My school was all black and Italian.
See?
Yeah. Sorry, Bill.
It's all right. We're not.
You got me high. I'm supposed to follow these questions?
I got you high. Yeah, I really foisted it upon you. What do you think of the pot?
This is great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's mellow, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you grew up in this, I would say we probably had very similar backgrounds, although I grew up in an all-white town, but I would say it was middle to lower middle class.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went back to the house like a few years ago, whoa. First of all, they completely remodeled it. It's unrecognizable.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because it was so tiny.
Yeah.
People were happier back then, but they had tinier houses. They had tinier everything. They were not crazy, made crazy because they were mind raped by the internet.
Don't you remember watching Cribs in the mid-90s? Yeah, the MTV show Cribs.
Of course.
So when I watched that show, I was like, oh, this is the underculture. Like, we're watching this. We might as well be watching Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And MTV was popularizing this. And I thought it was camp at first, but then I realized, like, I knew people that were like, I'm getting a Shark Tank in my house. And I was like,
I loved it because it gave me permission to say to people, okay, now get the fuck out of my house.
Right.
Because that's the way every episode ended.
I know, right? I knew a couple that was on that show, and then like the next week after the show aired, they got robbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because they know.
Because I was like, oh shit, I see these multiple points of entry. It looks like they've got a really failing security system. That's where the safes are? Okay.
That's awesome.
So fucking insanely stupid.
And Punk'd, remember that was like a...
Yeah, I was on like the second episode ever of Punk'd.
Oh,
so
really?
before the
They
concept
punked
was
you?
even... Yeah. Yes.
That's a badge of honor.
Yeah.
They never punked me.
Well, I was really lucky that
Fuck you,
it was
Ashton
a thing
Kutcher.
that I couldn't look... I was lucky that it wasn't a thing that made me look too stupid.
What was it? What was the punk?
They invited me to what was supposed to be like a charity gambling night at the like Sunset Tower, and it was after a taping of the 70s show. And so we, like all those kids and I knew each other, and we would have a habit. They'd tape on Friday, and then we would all go out together to one of these clubs, and you roll into a place with like 15 or 20 people, and you get to take over a section, and you're not concerned about anybody getting in or making you feel unsafe or any of it really being dangerous. So it was a very cool vibe. If you just like to dance and drink, and we all had like cars that were there, so nobody was driving or anything. Anyway, so they were like, hey, instead of that, after the show tonight, we're going to do this charity gambling thing. And I was like, okay. And so we get to this place, and I had just been in the place before for a table reading, so immediately I noticed that this room had been recently renovated. Yeah, I love that, thank you. I don't know, how much of the story do you want? It's real simple. They tried to...
Well, as you can see, we have to go to commercial. No, isn't it great that we don't?
Isn't that
or
fun?
we have to like, I mean, like zero do I ever think about this because, like I was saying at the beginning, I wanted to finally do a show that was exactly what my life is like.
It's so fucking
Zero
random.
difference
Yeah.
between if you just came over. If you just came over, would I have a series of questions? I see these podcasts, and they're just like talk shows used to be. They have cards, they
Right.
have microphones. Okay, I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying
Sure.
this is different.
I love that.
I love it too.
You got to put your spin on it.
But what were you saying? Because I was very
When they
intrigued.
punked me.
What was the punk?
The whole punk
So you're at a
was-
charity thing?
Yeah, but they took me out. So the guy was like, yo, man, can I talk to you? And this guy looked really familiar, and I realized later it looked familiar because he was on 106 in Park. I was like, oh, this guy, I didn't even know. And then, but he takes me outside, and there's like nobody in this party. I'm like, this is not a party, guys. The lights are so bright.
Right.
I'm like, there's no fucking music. Like, what is this? And I'm looking at all these doors. I'm trying to find an outlet. I'm gonna like plug in my speaker. I was like, y'all are not gonna raise any money. This party sucks. And so then the guy like takes me outside, and he says, "Hey man, I gotta let you know, I'm a cop." And I was like, "Oh, cool. I know a lot of cops." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm undercover. We're about to bust up this game." And I was like, "Oh, weird. I thought this was a charity game. What do you mean you busted?" And he goes, "This is an illegal game, and I think you know who's running it." I was like, "Who?" And he said, "We know that you know." And I go, "I don't know what you're talking about. My friend said that this was a charity game. Are you saying there's something going on? Is this like an illegal charity? What are you talking about?"
That is so.
And he's like, "You got to tell me whose game this is." And I was like, well, these are the people that invited me, but I don't think they organized
what
it.
were the punksters expecting you to do that would it be so embarrassing? Like suddenly
If I
roll
was
over.
like, "It's Ashton Kutcher's game. Ashton Kutcher invited me." Yeah, it gets so silly too because there's a moment where like I go back and he's like, "Hey, the cops are gonna come in here in about 45 minutes, so you gotta get the fuck out of here." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I go back on the table and I'm like, "Hey, Kutch, we probably gotta get the fuck out of here. Like maybe you get your money off the table. Like maybe we get out of here." And he's like, "What are you talking about? We're staying. We're doing this thing." And then some motherfucker somersaults through the window, and all of a sudden the doors explode and there's people, and they're like, "Everybody on the ground," kind of shit. And this is how many times I've been in handcuffs. I immediately look around and I'm like, well, none of these guys have guns. So this is obviously intended like a peaceful takedown. This isn't, I don't think anybody's gonna get hurt tonight. So then everybody's
Well,
like,
that's your white privilege talking, Seth. I'm out of here.
yeah, none of them had guns. There's nothing to talk about. None of them even had tasers. They didn't have utility belts. I'm like, well, whatever this is different than like cops. So, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So then they're blah 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 about like whoever knows whatever, and like I make eye contact with Kutcher because they're like, "Everybody on the ground, get on the ground, and I make eye contact with Kutcher and I'm just like, "Don't say anything, don't say shit. There's nothing to say."
I love blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the blah blah blah, because that's what they
so-
were like, blah 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 blah.
And then what
Illegal,
happened?
whatever. Well, then
So-
the same guy made me stand up, and he was like, "Why don't you tell everybody what I
So
saw?"
really, you punked them because they didn't get you to look stupid. And when that happens, I feel like that show should have then had this mea culpa, like, okay, the contestant who we played this game with, they won the game because they didn't do something stupid. Because I've seen them do stupid things.
Sure.
I've seen the ones where it's like, don't you know who I am?
Oh my God, it's-
Ooh, you look bad
I
doing
know, I've
that.
seen so many people-
Don't do the you don't know who I am.
Of
Because
course
we
not.
just caught you being the asshole that you pretend you're not in public.
They did they punked, it was like Penelope Cruz
Oh,
and
I've-
maybe Salma Hayek where there's a giant shit in the bathroom and one of them is like asked to take credit for it. They're like, "Which one of you shit in the bathroom?" And I'm like, this is the
they did that to
joke.
Penelope Cruz?
Yeah, Penelope Cruz and Salma Hayek. Can you
Boy.
imagine that?
But wait, so the Selma Hayek punk was that there was a
God
giant
damn, I love you trying to
duty?
keep this on track. Yeah, they went out to a public restaurant and she was like, "I gotta go
And
to the..."
she was supposed to like throw a fit about that?
She was supposed to...
I gotta
guess,
tell you,
like-
I would throw a shit about that. I would.
I think she was supposed to find the shit and then like they come out and they're like, "Hey, listen, you clogged the toilet," and then she's like, "No, I
I'll
didn't."
accuse her of it.
Accuse her of it.
Because
Hey,
if anyone
Salma
looks
Hayek.
like they take massive shits, it's,
Right.
Penelope Cruz.
She does. No, I think it was Salma Hayek. But
Yeah.
similar figures. The two of them.
You just said Selma Hayek, Penelope Cruz. You know, Latino ladies, they're all the same.
No, absolutely
It
not.
just
I
looks
did say
bad.
they have a similar figure.
They do, and there's nothing wrong with that. And by the way, I think we're past that era. That was the peak woke era.
It is
where
funny,
you could-
right? Like how fucking delicate it got. It was almost Red Scare kind of era.
And now, of course, we have because nothing ever happens in the middle in this country, we have the pendulum swinging all the way to the other side.
It's scary, like the second they start talking about like the hate speech not being protected under the First Amendment.
But peak woke was, how dare you mix up with Selma Hayek with Penelope Cruz? And
you were
sanity
getting,
is just, I'm sorry, I get stars mixed up sometimes. It's not a hate crime. Nobody died, and nobody hates Latinos. He's not in the Klan because he got two actors mixed up.
I know I was at a party and saw Seth Rogen there, and we were standing next to each other talking for a minute, and two different people came up and almost glitched at the idea of us being together.
Why?
Because we're both named Seth.
Oh.
And they don't have room in their brain for more than one Seth.
Yeah, I hate people like that. Now, when you were on Married with Children,
right?
What was
You know, it's so funny.
What was the cast like? Ed O'Neill, great to work with.
So great. Ed is like a dad to me. Like he still calls me every once in a while, just be like, "Hey, you getting those residuals?"
And Christina Applegate, national treasure. You know, I was a guest star on that show.
You were?
Yes, in my.
Wait, you talking about Married with Children, or?
Yes.
Her other show, the CBS shows.
No, Married with Children. I mean, in my...
what did you do? What were you saying? Oh my God, what did you play?
In my wandering years, you know, I came out here in the early 80s, comic, and in those days, we all wanted to get on a sitcom, and I did, and I got on a few of them. And then it was like that was going down. But I was still like, you know, somebody who they were interested in putting in a show, maybe, so I would do guest spots. I did Roseanne, and I did Married with Children.
Amazing.
And she could not have been nicer. As far as like...
Ooh, Applegate?
Yes.
She's the fucking
as far
greatest.
as like inviting someone into the like sort of inner circle of the cast, which is, you know, we've all been on shows. It gets very cliquey. Yeah. But making someone who was a guest star feel like, oh, you're part of the family this week too. I will never forget that. And I think we all do. We remember the people who treated us like that, and we remember the people who don't.
You're right. I always try to be the former.
I
had enough really positive experiences, especially as a kid, to take, I wouldn't say responsibility, but I have sympathy for, and I have empathy for anybody who's like going through this. My whole career was defined in guest spots and like day player parts. You know what I'm saying? Like just trying to find a way to make somebody notice me. But as a result, I worked on all of the shows. So I got to know everybody from a very young age and see how people do it well or do it poorly.
And you got into the slipstream that was like the right one to get into, which is like comic book stuff.
Isn't that funny? Well, all of the shit that nobody wanted to talk about pre-2007.
Which now rules showbiz.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's the funny thing. I have to remind all of my nerdy friends that like we won, everybody chill out.
Good for their college funds.
It's not bad. My child will be able to love Fantastic Four without ever worrying about being beaten with her own metal Fantastic Four lunchbox.
Yeah, there's good money in that, right?
It ain't bad. Well, with anything, man, you get anything that hits, like the margins are so much bigger now than they ever were before. It makes it a little bit harder for the independents, but it just means that you got to find the little money for little things in other places.
Those comic book people went after me once really hard because I said something about when Stan Lee died.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't making fun of Stan Lee. I wasn't happy Stan Lee died. I was sorry that comic book fans lived. No, I enjoy. I was just saying, like, these people who think that comic books are great literature. I mean, I heard from the Stan Lee Society who said, like, Bill Maher, you're a terrible person. You think comic books are immature. They said the same thing about Dostoevsky and Melville and Shakespeare. No, they didn't. Nobody ever said that. If you read a book without pictures, you'd know that to be true. Nobody ever said that. So, you know, you could enjoy an everlasting childhood. I mean, everybody does what they want. It's a free country. But just don't tell me that this is the same thing as literature, because it's not. Because the plots are not resolved the same way. The Godfather is a great movie because of the way the plot is resolved. Comic book movies, the plot is resolved because somebody shoots rays through their fingers. That's not, that's fine, but that's not for adults. You know, I want material for adults. It's just me.
Yeah.
You can enjoy that, but, you know, don't get on my case if I call you out on it.
Yeah, I don't agree with the getting on each other's cases about your likes or dislikes. The great thing about living in this country, at least for the moment, is you still have this freedom. Yeah, for the moment, we'll see.
No, it's true.
We still have this freedom of expression.
Yeah.
You know, we still have these, what we imagine to be inalienable rights. Like when our forefathers escaped, who left what they felt was the tyranny of the king, and decided to forge this new union without any of the dumb shit that they felt they'd endured under the king. And here we are. You know, it's almost 300 years later. You could also argue that, like, which empire lived more than 300 years? Like, most of these empires go through some kind of very significant change. I just didn't expect ours to be, like, this kind of apathetic resignation into autocracy. Like, that just seems so silly. Everybody's like, oh, well, I guess we'll just never have elections again. I'm like, what? Guys, you forget the power of the people. Like, the fucking power of the people, guys. That's it. Even if they say you can't vote, you could still... I couldn't have expected a guy like this guy to be the guy. And I think, you know, we both knew this guy. Like, I had never met him, but I know this guy. This guy, the guy that's in the office. Is this
Trump?
Yeah,
that's
Trump.
just a sparkling water.
This is just sparkling water. I swear they said, I think it's this. It's this one, right? Somebody say something off camera.
What is that?
I'm going to refill
What do
this
you
drink.
want?
I've got another drink.
Oh, that's yours. That's
this is mine.
Yours. Yeah.
All right.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Moscow Mule. I stayed on vodka. I find it mixes really well with the weed.
Yeah, you don't have to apologize for it.
No, I was just telling you.
I'm just... You have to give me a reason to drink vodka. You're at Club Random, dude.
That's not what this show is? You're not talking about...
Jesus Christ. You could be doing heroin here. You think I would give a...
It's not really my
that's your thing?
I mean, wouldn't that be crazy?
You know what the most romantic thing a girl ever said to me?
Let's hear it.
I once said to the girlfriend, what would you do if I started taking heroin? And she said... Start taking heroin. I mean, I thought she was going to say, I'd get you help.
Right.
We'd get the best people in the world.
I'm really good at needlework.
And, I mean, it's wrong, but it's also, like, the most romantic thing I've ever heard in my life.
That is very sweet. Don't you remember that rock bit? Chris Rock had that bit where he talked about, it dovetailed into the whole thing about Clinton getting blowjobs and making the comment that men are only as faithful as their options, which I thought was an
I
incredible
was the first one to say that. That was my joke.
I'm not here to debate that, but he
men are as loyal as their options.
Yeah, he
Trust me.
said that, but the joke that he made that I thought was so funny, he's like, listen, man, if you smoke crack, your wife has to smoke crack. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. You gotta have the same hobbies, which I thought was a very funny comment, pretty accurate.
I know I said that first. You know why? Because I remember who said it to me, who I stole it from.
Who's that?
I'm not going to say the name, but I was living in New York from 1979 to 1982. And I was dating, of course, a waitress in 1982.
Remind me to tell you something about that.
In 2 seconds, I will.
Yeah, give it to me.
And she said that to me, those exact words. Men are only as loyal as their options. I remembered it. I stole it. I used it. What is your story? Waitress. Go.
So Mac's mom, at one point.
Who's Mac's mom?
Macaulay Culkin's mother.
Oh, Mac.
Yeah, at one point.
Is he still like your fucking bro from another
Yeah,
mo?
we're really close. We're good friends.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah, I love that boy.
And how's he doing?
He's fucking great, man.
Really? Sorry.
Yeah, he's
it's so
great.
wrong.
Oh my God, he
it's
did.
So wrong.
Well, he's done like a little bit of acting. Like I forced him out of retirement to make this movie in Thailand.
Where is his mind at?
His mind is clear and great. He's got two fucking kids.
He doesn't care that the rocket that went up when he was a child didn't stay up.
I don't know if you understand. Like his dad was not a great dad, but his dad made sure that Mac has money. Mac never had a drug problem. Mac never had a gambling problem. Mac still has all that money. And there are so many different points of income for him annually, and he's only introducing new ones. So I gotta tell you, he is of sound mind and body, and like not even getting started. Like he did a bunch of acting stuff. I pulled him out of retirement to do this movie in Thailand, and then he was like, "Oh, I think I like acting." Wound up, it's the best. And people were like, "You want to do some acting?" He did a Vanity Fair cover, got a star on Hollywood Boulevard, showed up in Righteous Gemstones.
Can you make him come here?
Can I make him come here?
Can I talk to him?
I bet he would chat with you as long as you don't want to talk about Michael.
I don't.
Yeah.
Do I look like I
don't
have
think
an
you
agenda?
do. No, he loves comics too.
But I would love to talk to him.
Yeah, he'd love to. I bet he'd be down to talk to you too.
I bet you'd be good for him too, because people just have no idea who he is. It's like, and look, I understand what you're saying about his father not being a good father. Of course he's not a good father. Yeah. That kid had to booby trap the house himself. Okay, I'm not going to do any. I'm not going to do any of that.
No, he loves all that shit. But he
does.
Yeah,
okay,
he's buddies
we'll get along.
Yeah.
It'll be so much fun.
He loves comics. He's buddies with Jeff Ross. He was buddies with Saget.
Tell him to come here. I'll treat him so good. This is not a gotcha show.
It doesn't feel like it.
It's not.
Although they're getting drunk, like this could easily be Cosby's basement.
Everybody leaves here. The only thing they all have in common is they want to stay longer.
Yeah, but we only got 90 minutes, man.
Well, we have whatever we want.
That's really? How do you cut this show? Do you like cut it?
We don't cut it.
You just let it run. So if it's like 2 hours.
The only way we cut it is if the guest complains, because we want to be guest friendly.
We shouldn't have been.
Yeah, but
talking about.
I don't cut anything. They, but.
We shouldn't talk about Goebbels being a great name for your gerbil.
Yeah, Goebbels.
This is Goebbels the gerbil.
It is a great name, though.
It's not bad, right?
A terrible person and really rotten guest.
Yeah, I bet he's just a real bummer. Doesn't have any good stories.
But what about Mac?
This is the best story. So I said to Mac's mom, yeah, I got a crush on this waitress at this bar. And she goes, of course, you're going to have a crush on the waitress because she's serving you. And I was like, that's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, we've all had waitresses that were serving us and we didn't also want to date.
Plenty. Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly the guys.
Yeah. No, it's definitely selective in the people that I would give. This, and you probably had the same kind of thing. Like there was a point in the 90s where I realized that I couldn't predict anyone's purpose in talking to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, I'm very recognizable at this point.
Yeah.
To the point where I can't underestimate the reach of that and whether someone would be pursuing me. I had people pursue, even before cell phone cameras and social media, I had a lot of people try to take advantage of me or trick me or like rob me, all kinds of crazy shit.
But you get pretty savvy about sussing them out.
Yeah, I
early,
grew up in
you?
Philadelphia and New York. Like I got to make my first movie when I was 8 years old with a lot of very successful people.
But I'm saying, so the people who weren't sincere, who were trying to get in your drawers,
yes,
you kind of get it. Whether it's man for his things, business stuff, or a woman, you kind of. You can do it in a sentence or two.
It's true. I got very street smart from all of that, and I think that's why. Because here's the thing: I knew a lot of kids that died. I know a lot of kids that got molested. I know a lot of kids that got into all kinds of shit that never happened to me.
Right.
And I had this moment when I was, in my 20s, when all these kids start kind of coming out and talking about it. And I was like, oh my God, I stayed at that guy's house for a month.
Nobody ever tried to molest you?
No, and I had
kind of insulting, isn't it?
Well, I had that moment
to you. I mean,
of like, what the fuck? Am I just like so unfuckable?
Well, that is the conclusion one would have to draw.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, I got to work harder for this. I just started doing crunches like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Squats all day long. Like just trying to put it out there. Making breakfast with no shirt on.
Maybe a thong.
Yeah, it was
Can guys
popular.
wear thongs?
Always. Go to Europe.
But I feel like in the 90s era, early 2000s, I think that's like when our time overlapped.
Yeah.
As guys who were out a lot.
Yeah, right. I saw you out.
I saw you
I think I
out.
was more monogamous
I
for
saw you out.
longer
And
periods
you know
of
what
time.
I did when I saw you out? I just kind of...
I was like, oh, shit.
We did it to each other.
No, I liked it
No.
because you're smart and you're not crazy and you're like, there's something about comics, I think, where you inherently love the audience as much as you find reason to resent them. Like you kind of can't help it. It's what I love about guys like Robin. You just sort of need, life is fucking terrible. And you just sort of want to make people smile sometimes, even if it's like feeling not alone. I think that's the thing that comics really share, and I've always related to that.
But somehow we wound up both being the kind of guy who, per the old phrase, would go to the opening of an envelope.
I went to a bunch of things. I did go to parties. Yeah,
because it was fun.
Well, it's also, like I said, it's a little bit like your winter formal or your social at your school, right? These are our peers. And you sort of just have to...
But like, I remember, I mean, you were younger when it happened to you.
Yeah.
I was older, so it was like, I remember the normal life when you would just go to Dingleberries on Friday night, and hope to get lucky.
Right.
And now
Dingleberries.
Dingleberries.
You go to residuals.
Oh, yeah, residuals. And then there was a great disco, Enema. Oh, it was fantastic. 3 levels. The top was hip-hop, then it was 80s. But, okay. So I was like, okay, but now I'm invited to this thing which is like red carpet.
I know.
And, maybe it's a shitty fucking horror movie, but I'm invited.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And there was a period...
I went to the MTV Awards a bunch because it's crazy. You go to the MTV, you meet Busta Rhymes. I got to meet CeeLo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was fun for me. I get to see all these crazy things. I get to see
things that are on a much lower level than the MTV Awards. That's at least an award show. I'm talking about movie premieres and just parties.
It had to be somebody I knew. It had to be somewhere I felt safe. We started going out. That club thing really worked, and it was a couple of years that we did it just because it was safe. You'd go to a spot. There's this place on La Brea called AD that was really chill, and it was just we'd roll in there a bunch of, I think I was the oldest at 29.
Are you talking about the 90s? Is this the 90s?
It was the end of the 90s, the early 2000s.
I feel like that was my era to be out a lot. And I feel like...
I was just in tighter spaces, I think. My focus was on, dancing and not getting photographed.
But you were obviously not married. You were obviously out there.
Oh, and I was definitely meeting people.
You were single and ready to mingle.
Yeah. Well, also you just like you, I got invited to the Playboy parties. I got invited to the Perfect 10 parties. And all of a sudden you're in a position where a girl who looks like a photograph is like, I'd fuck you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, there are plenty of instances where we both got a story to tell for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. And
yeah, as a short Jewish kid with red hair named Seth that grew up in West Philadelphia and got constantly his ass kicked with his own pop culture accessories, it was really cool to have girls say, I'd fuck you.
And I mean, what is the lesson there? That life evens out, right? I mean,
I don't know why. I think for me, the lesson was, man, you got to have a really good personality because you're not going to pull this off on first glance.
Well, fame.
But even before that, I think the reasons that I got famous is because I pushed my personality so hard. Yeah.
Your personality comes through in the roles you play, right? But I mean, let's not gild the lily too much. I mean, it's also just fame. It's also just that.
Oh, there's plenty. That's my, Warhol's my favorite because Warhol was the one who really talked about the power of the camera. Talked about the audience's obsession with self, talked about the audience's inevitable individual 15 minutes of fame.
I mean, that is the most prescient thing anybody ever said, because when you see that everybody has a podcast.
Yes.
Everything is so fractured.
When was the last time you read 1984? I read it in 16. I read it in 16 when Trump was running. And it was the thing that Orwell never presumed was something like the internet. There was no way to imagine social media. And so it all took the form of the telescreen, which could always be on, which could always be recording. But the main thing was getting down to thought crime, a real separation of the classes and the cultures, and the point where you thinking something is an arrestable offense. And then they go and put you in the clockwork shit.
But that's a hate crime.
Well, this is it, right?
I mean,
we're edging that territory.
well,
in
not
a
edging.
really-
It's been decades since we said we believe in this country that there is such a thing as a hate crime. Now, that's basic liberal dogma. I consider myself a liberal, but I never agreed with that. A hate crime
with the
is
concept
a
of something
thought
being
crime.
more punishable than something else.
It's a thought crime. And I don't think we should go down that slope. It's a crime is a crime. If you kill somebody, you should be punished for it. The law should not be involved in what is in your mind, your fucking fucked up mind. I don't really give a shit.
I hadn't really thought about it that way, but that's a fair point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling. Our anniversary is going to be so much fun.
Do you like cake?
All right. Well, listen, I really enjoyed you.
Yeah, it's great to talk to you, man.
I
I
mean-
had this realization. This is the longest conversation we've ever had.
Oh, by far.
Like one-on-one.
Well,
yeah,
because
I always see you in green rooms.
Yeah,
or
because when we were
backstage or
out
something.
and saw each other before, we gave each other the look and then went after the hottest
Good
girl,
luck out there.
hottest girl
Yeah.
in the room.
Well, I'm like, 5'10" and under is usually where I'm aiming.
But, okay, I'm glad I got to know you.
Yeah, good to
I
see
hope
you,
I
man.
get to know you more. Okay.
You trying to-
All right, I'm gonna go back to my real job.
That's sweet. So this is like your thing. How long did it take to build this room?
I didn't build it, I bought it.
You're kidding. This came on the property already?
Yeah, this was on the property and it was a mess, but
What was it? Like a wine cellar or something?
no, a movie star owned this house. It was full of video games, like it was like an arcade.
Right.
And it was just terrible. It was full of termites and mold, but I just was like, there's a vibe to this place. I mean, look at that crooked door.
I love it.
Like there's somebody did something
It's got
weird here.
some like Paul Rubens shit
anyway,
about it.
I've always loved it.